2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
And tonight our broadcast will be shifting to Minneapolis, where we'll see the Timberwolves going up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, they're struggling through some mid-season doldrums at this point. It's been a ragged patch of the schedule for them lately. You look at the Timberwolves. They've been labeled the next big thing for quite some time. Kenny, how do they fulfill that prophecy?
Well, on paper, but we don't play the games on paper. They're good. They're solid. Sooner or later, people are going to wonder if Cat and Wiggins are a good core going forward.
When they had the third All-Star in Jimmy Butler, they were still a very low playoff seed. Chemistry has never been 100% with this team.
That wraps it up here. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Traffic heading in and out of downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. The setting for our broadcast tonight. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. D.A., take it away.
In 2018, the Minnesota Timberwolves broke their league-leading 14-year playoff drought with the help of Jimmy Butler. But a year later, Butler demanded a trade, and the Wolves were back in the lottery. They've got some young talent, but in the West, it's no cakewalk. Kevin, they are hoping they can take that next step with new management and some young, exciting players.
All right, David, thanks. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Johnson.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Here's the starting group for the Indiana Pacers. Brogdon and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. Turner and Sabonis playing inside. And it's Lamb in at the 3. And for the Timberwolves, we've got Malik Beasley. Culver out there with James Johnson. And there's D'Angelo Russell. And it's Towns in at the 5 down low. Clark, here we are mid-season, and certain teams seem to really change gear and ratchet up the intensity.
Yeah, I agree with you. And some of that is familiarity, understanding who you are and what it takes for you to win. And being healthy is a big part of that. I think teams all over the league go through stretches where they're in a nice groove and rhythm, and there are a lot of variables that play into that.
Things settle down, don't they? Rotations, routines, like you said, all those things important.
Yeah, exactly. Well said.
Now, here's Oladipo. Following the miss by Jarrett Culver. Brogdon finds Sabonis. Shoots over Towns. Sabonis, no good. Sabonis with the steal. Here's Turner. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock.
Nice feed. Just like his dad, Sabonis is an excellent passing big man. The passing gene was passed on.
For Indiana, they come into this one following a loss to the 76ers. Outside, Towns. Here's Johnson, and the slam dunk by Johnson.
And one step ahead of the defense with that solid screen.
And then, Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Boy, picture-perfect teamwork that time, guys. One guy sacrificing for the other. That's how you succeed in this league.
And it's the Pacers with the ball after the basket by Minnesota. 11 feet away, and Sabonis the bucket on the assist by Oladipo.
Boy, that's outstanding court awareness from Oladipo. Head up and found the open man.
And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for Minnesota. They want to keep rolling here following the win against the Thunder.
And got out to a solid lead in that one. And then when it was needed, they made sure they weren't going to give that one away down the stretch.
Guys, it really was a textbook win. I mean, they executed and delivered just the way they game planned for it.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
Free throw drops for Culver. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
Lamb, good.
You know, this is an area of his game that he's honing. Lamb knows he has to connect more from outside to help his all-around game.
Now here's Beasley. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Towns, the pass to Beasley. Lets it go. Good, and the assist goes to Towns.
How about 3 or 4 from the floor to start? That's always a good sign.
Pacers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Oladipo outside. Back to Brogdon for the 3. Not going to go that time. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year.
And with this matchup being an East versus West affair, it will be the first of only 2 meetings between the teams.
And, you know, there's always a bit of a feeling out process in that first game between opponents. A lot different than when you've played a team you're familiar with.
And they've got to keep him off the glass. For a little guy, he can be a handful on the offensive boards if you're not aware of him.
Al Russell. He had 16 points in the win against Oklahoma City.
And even while he was piling up all those points, he still found a way to create chances for his teammates. The assists just kept on coming.
6 to shoot. Towns kicks to Beasley. And it's sent back by Turner.
Oh, these arms of Turner just go on forever. I mean, which is part of the reason he's able to rack up the block shots that he does.
And so it's Turner with it. He brings it up for the Pacers, coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
Well, in that one, you could pretty much see the writing on the wall. Their performance was lackluster at best.
Yeah, they looked distracted, far off, distant. I mean, it seemed like their heart wasn't in it to try to win that game.
Now Lamb. After D'Angelo Russell's three-pointer that didn't go. The kick out to Towns. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
Quick trigger off the catch and shoot. Towns giving the defense no time to react.
The Pacers have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off. Oladipo outside. Back to Brogdon. Over Russell, and it's sent back by Russell.
Well, I tell you what, his teammates love seeing this. So do I. I mean, when Russell is able to block a shot, that's a big bonus.
Culver's shot is off.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Lamb against Beasley. Sabonis, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Culver passes to Russell. Nice shot from the wing.
Boy, Russell loves to take and make these quick trigger shots. He plays with a nice rhythm and flow to his game.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
You know, early in his career, there were questions surrounding D'Angelo Russell's maturity, and understandably so. That's the case with most young players. But of late, in his case, his improvement as a player and his growth as a person is impressive.
Indiana trailing here. Lamb with the ball. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. And Oladipo, here we go. And beginning his career with the Lakers, coaches wanted Russell to take a more serious approach.
Yeah, you know what? I think his last year there, losing the trust of his teammates, probably woke him up a bit. Sometimes you got to go through the adversity to recognize what you need to change. It's not enough to just put up numbers. You've got to be a professional in how you go about your business, and plenty to like about where D'Angelo Russell is and where he's headed.
Beasley against Oladipo, and finished off by Oladipo.
Boy, Victor Oladipo, an explosive athlete, and is dangerous above the rim.
Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Russell passes to Culver. Releases from 15, and Russell with the basket on the assist by Culver. Russell's got his second bucket of the game to go. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Oladipo outside. Beasley with the steal. Oladipo against Beasley, and it's Oladipo with the jam.
He just drifts in off the baseline and throws down the amazing reverse windmill.
I think, Greg, he was saving that one for us. Wow.
And the coach is smiling because it went down. Would have been a different story had he missed it.
Here's Culver. The Pacers making the shot. And Towns gets it to go.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive. And it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Sabonis, no good.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Johnson attacking. Goes up again. Good work defensively by Turner.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And that one's good, Brogdon.
Those defenders just looked a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
For Minnesota, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field to this point. Here's Culver, trying to get open as Johnson. A nice shot by Culver. Culver's got 5 points so far.
And how about the balance there from Culver? Really good at staying in control despite the D being all over him.
Passes it to Oladipo. Floats one up, and the rejection by Towns.
You know, guys, the pump fake is an effective move. Every player should have it. And you look at Oladipo right there, used it to perfection.
The Pacers shooting their first free throws of the night.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
That free throw missing. The mid-range jump shot, you've talked about this a lot, is still valuable if you can hit it with consistency.
Yeah, and if it's a quality shot, Kevin, I think you should shoot it. Move the defense, move the ball to get a quality shot, and I think one of the very best at knocking down the mid-range jump shot, Kevin Durant clearly. But how about Chris Middleton? Elite mid-range jump shooter, and DeMar DeRozan as well has a strong mid-range game too.
He's covered by McConnell. And it's McConnell with the rebound. And so it's McConnell with it. He'll bring it up for Indiana. They trail by 1. Towns with the steal. Out to the right wing. Here's Layman. Minnesota working with a new shot clock. Goes back up. And the layup is good. And the Timberwolves lead by 3.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Now here's McConnell. Oladipo outside. Clock at 6. And the Pacers can't get it to go. Timberwolves leading by 3. Towns with it. Now defended by Oladipo. Here's Layman. Wide open look. The rebound by Turner. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Oladipo. Got a hand on it, and he's able to get it back. Rebounded by the Timberwolves.
Certainly not the kind of night he was looking for at the offensive end, and it's had a ripple effect on the team.
And yes, it's good.
You know what? Didn't find a very good shot on that possession, but still able to get 2 points.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
The pass to McDermott. He dishes it to Warren. Cuts off the pass. Here's Okogie. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Takes a 3. The offensive rebound. Towns. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot.
Well, I like the way Towns reads where the ball is coming off when it's missed. And he's got excellent timing as well and did a good job beating everybody to the ball.
Timberwolves leading by 5. There's 1:40 left here in the opening quarter. And Indiana shooting 36% in this first quarter, trying to get their bearings. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. The Pacers making a switch here. Holiday's checked in. He's covered by McConnell. Here's Layman. Gets an open look and hits. Layman's got his second bucket of the night.
Pick works well there. Not much resistance from the D.
Yeah, that's not the defense you need. You got to be tougher defensively.
McConnell kicks to Holiday. 1:06 left in the first quarter. And the shot by Warren, no good.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
McConnell scanning the floor. Outside Holiday. Wants to get it to Turner and does. Outside Holiday. Back to Turner. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. That one is on Towns.
Boy, I tell you, Turner is a dominant force who imposes his will on whoever is on him. But what you have to like and respect is his work ethic.
The Pacers shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. That's good from Turner.
And historically, you almost never saw a great shot blocker who could also knock down triples at a high clip. But count Miles Turner among the unicorns who provide that rare combination.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Spellman's checked in. He's perfect from the line this time. And Minnesota has possession. 7-point differential. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Okogie. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
McConnell passes to Leaf. He kicks it to Holiday. It's deflected. Here's Okogie to the paint. Here's Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
And, you know, when you've got a chance to put a team away early, you got to take it.
And as we conclude the first quarter, a one-sided game so far. Minnesota on top, up by 11. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. The former #1 pick overall in 2015, Karl Anthony Towns, spoke about the aspirations of this team.
Every single day we're thinking about how can we be the team that we need to be to not only make the playoffs, but to make it deep into the playoffs and give ourselves a chance of being a championship team. We have so much talent. We have great veterans. We have a great front office, a great coaching staff. So with all that on our side, we feel we have a great chance to find that way to success.
Yep, one step at a time, Greg. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah, you can't have too much too early. But with Towns leading the charge, this team is in great hands.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for the Timberwolves?
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the intensity is carried over into their ability to get out in passing lanes and really be disruptive in terms of their opponent's offense.
They've got Lehman, and it's Hernan Gomez in at the four-man position. That's the 5 to begin the second quarter for the Timberwolves. 6 on the shot clock. He's covered by McConnell. The rebound by Turner.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-up.
Well, that looked to me, guys, like a heat check and was maybe a step out of his range.
Now, here's McConnell. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Here's Leaf. That one misses. So Minnesota will take it the other way. Here's Okogie. Lets a floater go. 3 on 3. Up again. Kept alive by Indiana. And it's blocked. That'll go on McDermott. That's his first foul. Minnesota leading by 9. Pass to Spellman. Here's Okogie. Sweet little floater. Okogie's got his second bucket tonight.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
Now here's Turner. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia. McConnell passes to Holiday. That shot is off. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And there's the foul. It'll go on T.J. McConnell. That is his first foul of the game. So both teams making some changes here. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. 5 to shoot. Here's Okogie. Another miss by Minnesota.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
You know what? That's a confidence shaker for him, though. I mean, that's a shot he expects to make every time.
Now, here's Brogdon. 17 points for him last game against Philadelphia.
And he was relentless in that one. I mean, he wanted to be the first to every rebound and almost was.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And I'll tell you who I feel for. The Wolves fans. 1 playoff appearance in the last 15 years.
Yeah, and, you know, they've had some exciting talent in Minnesota, guys, but they've done very little winning with that talent. I think the good news, though, when you want to spin it positively, they still have that talent, and a lot of the talent is young.
Russell dishes to Culver. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Russell. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. And Clark, throughout your NBA career, you always wore number 33. How'd you end up picking that number?
Well, it goes back to my idolization of Lou Alcindor at the time, who is now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was the first big, graceful guy I saw do a little bit of everything in his days at UCLA, and then I digested all kinds of books and stories about him and just really admired his work on and off the court. Because he wore 33, I chose 33.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Johnson comes in for Hernan Gomez. And it's Malik Beasley in for Josh Okogie. Shoots with the putback. And staying with the play, Sabonis.
Well, I love the aggressive nature with which Sabonis offensive rebounds. He hustles, he's got great energy, but he's also pretty skilled. And you saw all of that right there.
Now here's Beasley. To the middle, here's Russell. Good D by Brogdon. Pacers trail by 11. Now the Pacers moving it up. Holiday with the ball. Pass to Leaf. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation. And for a look at how the competition stacks up right now. These, the new power rankings, they tell a great story. Taking a look at Houston. They couldn't hold their position this week, but remain in the top 10.
You know, right now for the Pacers, they've run into a bit of a wall here as of late. Had been playing pretty good before this latest stretch. Now trying to do whatever they can to get back on track.
Spellman off target from 3-point range.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. But he's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in LA, many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. Here's Russell after the basket by Sabonis. With some arc. Spellman, no good. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Pacers. They've only given up 6 here in this quarter. Leaf passes to Lamb. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Beasley with a clean look. No good with the triple. Pacers trail by 9. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And a player who flew under the radar last year, Malcolm Brogdon. Pacers wanted to add him over the summer. Got a hefty deal from Indiana to leave the Bucks. Exactly the kind of player that the Pacers need.
No good on that one.
Yeah, you know, this is Indiana's second year now, guys, without Paul George. Obviously, that trade had a ripple effect, and in some ways, it's still being felt.
T.J. Warren, he's checked in for Indiana. Victor Oladipo comes in for Aaron Holiday. And he's good on the second. And the Pacers ended up with a pretty decent deal given George's public demand.
Yeah, I agree, because it was a tough situation for the Pacers once it became clear Paul George was not going to re-sign. The Pacers happy with Oladipo and Sabonis, actually thrilled, but at the same time, you look at OKC and Paul George putting up MVP numbers, makes you wonder what could have happened had he stayed.
Karl Anthony Towns checked in for the Timberwolves. Here's Sabonis. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. And the call will be against Sabonis. That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Culver passes to Russell. Outside, Towns. Kicks to Beasley. Pass to Culver. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Jeremy Lamb.
And Culver's game just screams potential. Already a good scorer, rebounder, and passer. Now the next step, improving that outside shot.
The Timberwolves have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3. The first free throw is good.
And, you know, even though in today's game floor spacing is all the rage, the last 5 years the Wolves attempted the fewest threes in the league. And when they did shoot them, they didn't make very many of them.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And on top of their troubles from range, the Wolves have also had trouble on the defensive glass.
Yeah, and if you can't rebound and you're not shooting it well, you've got to figure out who you're going to be. Your identity is in question. That's what the Wolves are trying to figure out. Who are we? What do we do well? How do we win? How do we succeed? To get to the next level, they've got to answer that question.
Clark, over the last couple decades, the role of the big man has changed and required more skill outside shooting among them.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And then the ability to move your feet defensively.
Yes.
Because the three-point shot spaces the floor so much. And a lot of times teams will have 4, maybe 5 perimeter shooters out there regardless of size. So big guys, if they're going to play in that type of an alignment, have to be able to move their feet and effectively guard perimeter players and also make shots from the perimeter as well.
Amazing to see guys that big out there sometimes with a one-on-one with the guard, like on the three-point line.
No doubt. And also the big guys, we've got a ton of them, Kevin, across the league that can really knock down the three-point shot.
He doesn't get the second one.
Well, you know, from role player to star, Oladipo's transformation has been remarkable. I mean, he's a guy who is really hungry to be an all-time great.
And there's the pass to Culver. Right wing. Towns wide open. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Pacers trail by 9. Here's Oladipo. And then Oladipo with the jam.
The bounce, the creativity, the strength. When Oladipo rises up, he's looking to punch it down as hard as he can.
And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for Minnesota. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Outside, Towns. Russell trying to free himself up. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Russell. And 11 points for Karl Anthony Towns. Now, here's Brogdon. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. Warren kicks to Oladipo. He gets that one to drop. He's now 5 of 12.
Oladipo's so capable of scoring the ball in a lot of different ways. Myriad ways does he score the ball. I love watching him fill it up.
Minnesota leading by 8. Culver with it. Brogdon picks him up. With the teardrop, Culver's shot is off.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Minnesota's gotten into trouble with the 3-ball in the second quarter, only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Culver's got 11 points.
That's a textbook example of how to move the ball. Boy, you got to love that action.
Russell against Brogdon. Right side, Warren. Over Johnson. No good from 11 feet.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Buries the long-range jumper.
And we've seen this offense step back into three-point land a little bit more in this quarter.
For better or worse, and it looks like the latter. I mean, those threes not really falling yet.
Oladipo misses. Minnesota's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Now here's Culver, guarded closely. Here's Towns. The second chance effort. And another shot. And no good. But close on that one, so he'll shoot 2.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Boy, it certainly appears to be the case, Greg. I mean, they've spent a lot of time at the foul line this quarter, and that's the result of attacking the rim and being physical.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Turner comes in for Lamb, and it's T.J. McConnell in for Malcolm Brogdon. Now, here's McConnell. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game, and the Pacers can't get it to go. Now the Timberwolves with it. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. No good from Hernangomez.
We know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide open look.
And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him. The Pacers have made 5 of 8 of their free throw attempts. Timberwolves leading by 12. And here's Culver. He's coming off a 22-point game against Oklahoma City. Got a piece of it. Pass to Layman. Shot clock at 6. Launches it. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And let's take a peek at the players contending for a spot in the dunk contest this year. Each and every one of these guys can do amazing things around the bucket.
And they will. I guarantee you that we're going to see things in this year's contest that we've never seen before. Those fellas have some tricks up their sleeve for sure.
You look at Beasley. Some might say he's a long shot at this point, but you never know.
Hey, stranger things have happened, and we'll just have to wait and see.
And as always, we'll keep the updates coming in as we get closer to All-Star Weekend. One thing we already know, there are some great players pulling in votes so far.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this is going to be one of those dunk contests that everybody's going to be tuning into.
Boy, I like that sweet-looking shooting stroke that Towns has. So polished and efficient. His mid-range J on the money.
Now, here's McConnell. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Turner. Score the basket. His 4th. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
And so it's Minnesota with it, following the score by Miles Turner. Left side, Towns. That one off the back iron and out. Pacers trail by 10. And Warren, here we go. The lead now cut to single digits.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
43 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Towns. No good on that one. Nice D from Sabonis. And it's McConnell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. This is his first trip to the line tonight. First one falls for him. Okogie's checked in for Minnesota. And a change for the Pacers. McDermott's checked in. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Minnesota leading by 6. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. He's covered by McConnell. Passes it to Towns. Just 5 to shoot. Good work defensively by Turner. And so it's Minnesota with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've dictated the pace, pushed the ball at every chance, and it's paying off for them. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. With Karl Anthony Towns. Karl, you got some scoring going in that first half. What did you take advantage of?
I'm just finding spots, not chasing it, letting it come to me. Just using what my teammates give me.
Productive half so far, Karl Anthony. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. What a start it was for Karl Anthony Towns. He ended up with 15 points, 2 assists, and 2 blocks. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
When he plays with the high energy, Big Cat gives you everything you need from the center position. Points, rebounds, and rim protection. Already an elite player and still improving.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana?
Aggressive. I called them up earlier. I like it. They're taking it hard to the rack, dictating the pace, setting the physical tone. You're not going to get that by launching threes all night. Everybody knows that.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Karl Anthony Towns has been sensational.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, he's got that locked-in look in his eyes tonight, and he's not going to start taking it easy. I think he's going to be going hard until that final whistle blows.
Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for Indiana, Turner and Sabonis playing inside. Brogdon and Oladipo, the backcourt duo. And it's Lamb in at the 3, the small forward. Count that one. Turner's got the opening bucket to start the second half for the Pacers. And Minnesota has possession. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Marky, we're talking about the unicorns. Miles Turner in that category as a shot blocker who can space the floor. I don't think he's got a ceiling. What about you?
I think his ceiling is really high, Kevin. He's still young, which always bodes well for somebody with his work ethic and skill set. I think he can be an all-star player. Franchise player, those are few and far between. I'm not sure if he can get to that level, but all-star certainly within his reach.
He's off on the first. And the last 2 years, Karl Anthony Towns getting a rap as a bad defender. Clark, you think that's fair to say?
You know what, Kevin? I don't think it's as fair as it once was. He's not nearly the defensive liability he used to be. He's better defensively one-on-one, and I think he's improved in his ability to switch and rotate on smaller players.
And he sinks the second.
And the young Timberwolves head coach, Ryan Saunders, son of former Minnesota coach Flip Saunders, about as great of a pedigree you could ask for as a young coach.
Well, guys, you've heard me talk about the DNA when it relates to players. It's the same with coaches. I mean, Ryan grown up seeing his dad coach at a high level, the late Flip Saunders, one of our favorites in the business. He spent his whole life around basketball, so he has a great way with players and a real good understanding of the game, to a modern-day approach for a young coach.
And the foul on Victor Oladipo. That is his first foul of the game. Here is Russell. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Culver passes to Johnson. And the pass to Russell. Three-pointer. The shot's good on the assist by Johnson. That's 12 points for D'Angelo Russell.
And, you know, this has become a real weapon for Russell now, and it's because he's worked hard on this shot.
Pass to Turner. Dishes it to Lamb. 6 on the shot clock. The kick out to Oladipo. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Culver's got the ball. The shot by Johnson, no good.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Well, you can't be forcing a shot like that. You got to keep the ball moving. Get something better.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Brogdon against Russell. Sabonis inside. Add basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Timberwolves leading by 7. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Here's Towns. That one no good. Nice D from Sabonis. To the inside. It's stolen by Johnson. Out of bounds. Indiana takes possession. And now it's time to look at our rookie leaderboard and see which of the first-year players are tops in assists during the last month. 5th best, Jarrett Culver.
And he's been setting the table beautifully. I mean, that'll keep his veteran teammates really happy.
Greg, he's a fantastic facilitator. I mean, just makes everyone around him better with the willingness to play unselfishly. Well, it's been a great month for him.
Aaron Holiday is checked in for Oladipo. Pass to Turner. Shoots it. And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. 14 points for Miles Turner.
A nice start to the second half. Just one miss in their first 5 attempts.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Poked away, taken away by Holiday. Now the Pacers moving it up. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one is on Towns.
You know, Malcolm Brogdon has really good size and strength and basketball IQ, which makes him hard to guard for the defense.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
As a matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it. You know, even in games where he hasn't been at his best this season, I mean, he still managed to get it done at the charity stripe when he gets his opportunities.
That free throw good from Brogdon.
You know, he's a big guard who really uses his size well. Brogdon is capable of playing either of the guard spots. He's old school in that way, just a guard who happens to be very versatile.
Omari Spellman has come in for James Johnson. In Indiana with a change here too. TJ Leaves checked in for Sabonis. Brogdon hits them both. A little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Now Culver. He's got 11. Towns finds Russell. Six to shoot. And it's sent back by Turner. Lamb with the ball. Passes to Leaf. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him. And Turner throws it down.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
It's certainly been an impressive run. They finally found the right formula to break down the defense.
So it's the Timberwolves now, following the score by Indiana. Russell. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys, and they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness in their game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success.
Here's Holiday, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
Taking a look now at some numbers for Beasley. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Averaging 12 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. The contributions he's been making on the floor have been a boon for this team. Great stretch of games for him.
Yeah, you know, they've given him more responsibility, and he's responded. And the way he's going, I think his role is only going to increase.
That one drops. He ties it up. And the free throw is good. Now leading by 1.
Just solid. Really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
So the Timberwolves call their first timeout.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell them simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
Well, we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Towns.
On the boards, he's been a much bigger presence these last few years than he had been prior. And he can be counted on now to make an impact with his rebounding. And that's a product of all the work he's put in down low.
Now, here is Russell. 12 points for him. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And, you know, the Timberwolves made Karl Anthony Towns their franchise cornerstone going forward. Cat signed a 5-year deal worth $190 million, and really it's not even a question. He's the present and future of this team.
He hits the second from the line. And with Towns in his extension, Clark, it would have been hard to imagine the Timberwolves doing anything different.
Yeah, you know, I think it's really rare to find a player so complete at this young age as Towns is. I mean, the production he gives you with his scoring and rebounding is really irreplaceable.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements here. Now, here's Culver. Turner covering. Turner with the steal. Here's Brogdon. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime. Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Pacers.
And they haven't been pushed around in the paint at all in this game. They have been the aggressors.
Something else you like to see is how well they've shot their free throws tonight.
And the first one at the line is good. McDermott's checked in for Indiana. Brogdon hits them both. Timberwolves trail by 4. Here's Culver. 11 points in the game. Shoots over McDermott, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Doug McDermott.
And what makes Culver difficult to defend, it starts with the footwork and then the change of pace, and you give him that ability to just rise up and shoot over you.
He's got free throw attempts number 4 and 5 here.
Performed well thus far this season with a 78% clip.
Free throw drops for Culver. He makes 1 of 2 that time. Pacers leading by 3. Now here's Brogdon. He's got 7.
How about that? Malcolm Brogdon throwing it down. He doesn't do that a lot, but he did that one with force.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the 3rd quarter so far. Culver passes to Towns. The dish now to Culver. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Beasley for 3. And the ball goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Beasley.
And here are the numbers for Turner. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. 5th in blocks, and he's as opportunistic as anybody defensively, ranking among the top 15 league-wide in steals per game.
And yeah, he's been a brutal shot blocker all season long. As you said, top 5 in the league. He's a dangerous force to face inside. Holiday surveying the floor.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit with a lot of time still left. They're going to have to tone it down, or they may end up giving up a lot of free throws here.
And this is his 2nd trip to the line tonight. That's good from Holiday. Minnesota making a switch here. Layman's checked in. That one misses. Timberwolves trail by 6. Outside Russell. And here's Culver. He's got 12. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Leafs got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Inside. Here's McDermott. Cans it from short range. McDermott's got the lead up to 8 now for the Pacers.
And defensively, they've gotten a little careless, not playing with the same focus we saw in the first.
Stolen by Brogdon. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah, you get the sense that they're going to start stretching this lead out a little bit.
Culver passes to Russell. To the wing on the left. Now Culver. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game. And stolen by Russell. Now here's Culver, the fast break chance. Can they get it? That shot off. Good D by Brogdon. And Brogdon has got the ball here for the Indiana Pacers. Here's Towns. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. And a moment here to see the standings for the Eastern Conference. And you know, guys, some interesting stories have unfolded here as we move through the middle of the season. You take a look at the Pacers. They're way down there in the conference standings, looking for a lot of improvement during the second half of the season.
And right now for the Pacers, They talked all offseason about how this year was going to be different. Nobody bought into it then, and nobody's buying into it now.
Yeah, and it's too bad, really unfortunate, because I did think the potential was there. But at this stage, I think we've seen their best, and it's not going to be good enough this season.
Brogdon finds Turner over Towns, and he can't bank that one in. Timberwolves trail by 10. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Layman gets the bucket.
Yeah, you look at Russell, and one of the things I like most about his game is this guy has great vision and passing ability.
And the Pacers call time here. Both teams will make substitutions. This is the 2K leaderboard with a rundown of the NBA's top defenders down low. The league's leaders in rejections this month. Third is Karl Anthony Towns, and of course Miles Turner.
I mean, those two have been playing some special low post defense, and a lot of the shots I've seen them sliding away aren't easy to get to.
Now here's McConnell. Warren the pass to Turner. The 9-foot shot. Minnesota with the rebound. Here's Layman. Here's Hernan Gomez. The Pacers pull it in. Turner's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. And Warren, here we go. And the shot goes in. Warren's got his second bucket.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Now the pass to Hernan Gomez. And the layup falls.
Seems to have a knack for hitting guys in their spots. His vision, excellent.
Feeds it to Turner. He kicks it to McDermott. Warren against Hernan Gomez. Second shot opportunity. Count the basket. 6 points for T.J. Warren.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Layman. Clock at 6. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. T.J. Warren picks one up. The Timberwolves have shot 10 of 13 from the free throw line.
Yeah, pretty good numbers on the season when you look at their free throw attempts, right around 78%.
And he knocks down the first one. James Johnson's checked in for Amari Spellman. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. Pacers leading by 9. And Brogdon, here we go.
Malcolm Brogdon, a clever penetrator. When he's driving like this, makes the defense uncomfortable.
And it'll be his 4th time going to the free throw line in the game. That free throw good from Brogdon.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
He hits both from the stripe.
And that puts them right around 90 from the free throw line. Really good work here in the second half.
Okogie, the pass to Layman. Here's Okogie. And it's sent back by Turner. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. .156 left in the third quarter. Here's Okogie, currently averaging almost 6 points a game.
Love to see Turner getting after it on defense, just throwing himself at the shooter and making him think twice about the release.
And a great assist by Brogdon as that one goes in. Brogdon's got 3 assists now in this one. Timberwolves trail by 13. Here's Okogie. Shoots over Brogdon. And he overshot that one, missing.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
6 on the shot clock. Nice shot by McDermott.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Here's Okogie following the basket by Doug McDermott. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, you've got to give a lot of credit to Josh Okogie. I mean, he was the 20th pick in the 2018 draft and really well ahead of the curve as a rookie, and even saw starter minutes later on in the season. Well, that's a great get for them.
First free throw is good. Indiana making some changes. Sabonis, he's checked in for McDermott. And it's Oladipo in for Malcolm Brogdon. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Indiana leading by 13. Knocked loose. Here's Okogie. Victor Oladipo grabs the miss. Oladipo's got 5 rebounds tonight.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
Now here's Oladipo. 15 points in the game. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Man, excellent patience from Turner close to the basket there. I mean, forced the defense to get a little handsy with him in the paint.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far. And that one falls for Turner. Culver's checked in for the Timberwolves. Both shots good from the stripe.
And they've been so steady at the line in the second half. Gotten a good volume of free throws and converting at a high clip.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. Passes it to Layman. Just 5 on the clock. Sinks the three-pointer. Layman's got 6 in the quarter.
And perimeter scoring, I have to imagine it was a topic of discussion at halftime.
Certainly. I mean, they saw a weakness in the perimeter defense and took advantage of it.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Pacers lead by 12. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center. And a quick look now at the State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Hey, that was a high-level pass no matter what position it came from. But it does make it stand out a little more when it's made by the big fella.
And there have been two very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Layman is out there with James Johnson. Then it's Culver, and it's Hernan Gomez in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Johnson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
McConnell with it. The pass to Lamb. Now, here's McConnell. Defense is right there. Indiana needs to get a shot off. A wide open look here for Oladipo. Misses the deep three-point attempt. A shot by Culver. Nobody around. No good off the back of the rim.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets yanked soon. I mean, that's how bad his shot selection has been.
And that one drops for him. And the Pacers lead by 12.
You know, using his athleticism well on these drives inside, Lamb is dependable at finding routes to the bucket.
Here's Layman. Sabonis with the steal. Here's Lamb. It's good.
His rate of development and improvement has been steady. Lamb showing real toughness on these difficult finishes.
Minnesota calls timeout. Clark, you always say you can't run away from the DNA. Well, Sabonis, the son of the Lithuanian legend Arvydas Sabonis.
Kevin, I'm glad you've been paying attention to me over the years. You're right, though. That DNA stays with you. And the younger Sabonis has done his dad very proud. He's 6'11" to his dad, 7'3", but he's displayed the same kind of combination of strength and skill that his dad possessed.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Beasley's checked in. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Ryan Saunders' huddle. He was not happy with their play. He told them, we're getting outworked out there. Simple as that. We got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Great speed on display by Oladipo in transition. Very few guys can keep up with him in the open court.
Timberwolves trail by 16. Poked loose. It's stolen by Oladipo. And it's Oladipo with the jam.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
Hernan Gomez kicks to Culver. Looking to end the run. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Lob pass to Warren.
Oh, what a pass. And then he lays it in with the circus move.
So smooth.
He could have messed that up trying for a big slam. Nice work going to the layup.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Oladipo. Both teams deciding to change it up. To the left wing. Here's Culver. Another miss by Minnesota.
No matter what looks they get, they just can't convert to stop this run.
And, you know, they've got to be careful because this is when the team concept breaks down and guys start playing hero ball.
Down low. Deflects the pass. Pass break. Here we go. Here's Hernan Gomez, and it's blocked. Oladipo goes in and finished off by Oladipo.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Almost no holes in their performance tonight. They've been tremendous.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
It's tipped.
Outstanding defensive instincts by Sabonis. Really good timing when to rise up to reject shots.
Can't cash in from close range.
You know, guys, you can tell he wants to contribute more, but his teammates have picked up the slack for him. That's what being on the team is all about.
Lamb passes to Leaf. Second chance shot. The kick out to Warren. Pass to Lamb. 5 on the clock.
Switch.
Here's Leaf. Indiana again missing.
And thus far, they've managed to overcome an off game from him offensively.
Oladipo against Russell. To end the cold streak. Culver's shot is off.
I wonder if switching baskets really threw him off. I mean, because he can't get anything to fall this half.
Outside, Lamb. It's Oladipo on the wing. Over Russell. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Clark, any changes you'd like to see made in the process when players and teams are fined for any number of things? Incidents on the floor or off the floor?
Well, I think there's a place for fines, and the different amounts depending on how egregious the act is by a player or team makes some sense. I think having different categories. But I'm one that would rather hit hard and less often. So I think if you want to minimize the number of finable offenses, then make the penalty be greater for those things that are finable.
Clark, take us inside the halftime locker room in the NBA.
Well, players typically just regroup individually. There may be some conversation between the players as a group, but then the coaches will huddle, evaluate what transpired in the first half, what adjustments need to be made, and then they'll communicate that to the team. And it's basically a time to rest and regroup for the players to adjust and strategize for the coaches.
Clark, do you think there's any videotape review in there, maybe showing players certain sets, certain schemes?
In this day and age, for sure, with the use of iPads and technology. If you go back to my time, there was no quick turnaround of video in the halftime locker room.
Right. I do know officials do that, too, in their locker room at halftime.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
Minnesota's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Culver. Softly drops in the floater.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
Brogdon against Russell. Right side, Warren. Clark, we've had sponsors on the uniforms for a couple of seasons now. Do you think everyone's grown used to seeing them?
Yeah, I think it's a normal part of the landscape, and it will take a little more time. I've noticed them myself as I've watched games. We're certainly a far cry from looking like NASCAR drivers, which I think is a good thing. You want them to be done visibly, but not overdone.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Hernangomez. That's foul number 2 for him. Miles Turner, he's checked in for Jeremy Lamb. The 3 from Warren. No good. So Minnesota will take it the other way. Pass to Russell. Kicks it to Towns. High arcing shot. Pacers with the rebound. It's deflected. Now here's Brogdon. To the paint. Here's Turner. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. There's the foul. That's against Minnesota.
Man, I like the aggressiveness that Turner plays with. For such a young guy, it's proven to be beneficial in helping him draw fouls.
That free throw, no good. And the second free throw, good. And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Passes it to Towns. Over Sabonis. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And it's the Pacers' ball. They're on a 15-5 run here. Inside. And Turner the bucket on the assist from Brogdon. Brogdon's got 4 assists in the game. So it's the Timberwolves now. And here's Beasley. Mark, the max contract didn't exist when you were playing. Is it something that should be up for debate?
Well, it's a function of the economics of the league now, and in theory, there's some reasons why you have max contracts, because a guy has earned that opportunity, a way to keep a star player or a max contract player with the same team, I think is part of the reasoning behind it. I mean, debating it and talking about it is probably something that makes some sense. If you're thinking about getting rid of it, I'm not so sure.
Towns down low. Sabonis is there. And it's Towns missing.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And finished off by Hernan Gomez.
Well, so often we see this, transition buckets off turnovers.
And we know turnovers are painful and costly. You get loose with the ball on one end and get punished on the other end.
It's Oladipo on the wing. There's the pass to Turner. In the corner, it's Brogdon. That falls. Nice feed that time from Turner. Turner's got 3 assists now in this one. Now Russell. Here's the floater, and the layup is up and in.
You know, you look at the floater, it's an effective shot for Russell, but when he doesn't want to go all the way to the rack, you got to have that in your book bag.
Sabonis kicks to Warren. The baseline J off the mark. Timberwolves trail by 20. Culver with it. Now defended by Warren. Here's Beasley, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to be on Victor Oladipo.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you could hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Pacers making a switch here. Lamb's checked in. No good on the second free throw. Well, Clark, you know, it took some time for him to get to this point, but Jeremy Lamb has taken his game to the next level.
And you know, guys, we see these young guys come into the league after just 1 year of college, and it takes them a while to figure it out sometime. Lamb has gone from being just a contributor to a nightly impact player with his scoring. But across the board, you can see his game upticking in a really positive way.
Towns against Sabonis. Towns dishes to Russell. Shoots over Brogdon. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. Turner's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. And it's Brogdon off the drive. The shot, no good. Nice D from Russell. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And it's Beasley finishing it off.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and polish.
Turner passes to Oladipo. And so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
Just 4 to shoot. Cans it from downtown. 18 points for Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon extremely confident because he knows he has the green light to fire off the catch.
The Timberwolves shooting only 35% in the fourth quarter. The offense looking a little rickety. Now here's Culver, covered by Lamb. Pacers leading by 23. Brogdon kicks to Lamb. Sabonis inside. He's guarded by Russell. Oladipo outside. Pass to Lamb. From deep. And Indiana, another 3.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Pacers.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Miles Turner.
Well, I love the force that he showed on defense, using all of his length to deny shots. He was their anchor tonight.
And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
Tell you what, those are crazy numbers, guys. I mean, believe me, I was a good rebounder in my day. It is not easy to corral that many boards in one night.
Back to Brogdon. Lamb with the ball. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thank you. Victor, what does tonight's performance say about the confidence of this team?
Just we're pretty good. We play great together, you know, and we play well together as a team. So when we do that, it's easier for us to beat teams.
Victor Wondermatha, thank you, my man. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.